Okay, start that old thing. Okay, I'm back. So I've been reading a lot of stuff lately and picking up various things, and I know I don't do these that often, but I wanted to kind of keep this going as far as doing kind of mini reviews, and today I'll just start right into it. I have been picking up Daredevil Ultimate Collection, Bendis Malieve. I hope I'm saying that right. So I've got volume 1 there. Just watching the other video, could be a little closer, so we'll see if that picks up a little better. And it's one of those things, you know, you hear about it and it's supposed to be mind-blowing and really great. And like I said, I've really been into Daredevil, starting with picking up a bunch of the earlier issues from 70s and 80s, like late 70s, early 80s. And then recently I picked up some of the new series as well, which is also in here. So, you know, 19 and 18, and I think I've kind of bought all the way down to number 10. I think it's 10.1 is what they have been saying. So, and I love it. I absolutely love, and a lot of people have said it, it's just a more kind of playful Daredevil. The art is amazing. This Samnee, I believe, right? Yeah, for the later ones has been Samnee, who I'm a little bit familiar with and really like his style, so that's pretty exciting. But this Bendis one pretty much has blown me away, as everybody has said. I've read some of the Brubaker. I have a Brubaker collected where he's in jail and stuff, and I really like that, but I didn't want to go too much into Brubaker before I read this run. I think it's a really neat idea as far as, you know, his identity is kind of found out, and he's fighting whether or not he should just live with it and carry on, or if he wants to hang up the costume, and the courtroom stuff with man, I gotta start writing notes. Anyway, the courtroom stuff where he's trying to fight for this guy to get off, who's this superhero. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Who was kind of wrongly accused of murdering somebody during a heist, when in fact it was one of the criminals, and he just kind of happened to be there at a bad time. I thought that was very cool too, just to see the courtroom stuff, and it's neat how he takes you through this, because it reads to me as really like a gritty kind of cop, lawyer-ish type gangster genre. And sometimes I'm reading it and I completely forget that it's about a superhero until something like that happens, where they start talking about it. And I thought the courtroom stuff was really interesting, because something that just kind of came up was, well, you know, some of these superheroes, they have all this kind of telekinesis, and they can levitate things, and what if he did this with the gun? That's why he didn't find his fingerprints. And it's little twists like that that don't bring me out of it. I kind of enjoy it. But at the basis of it, it's a crime book, and it's a gangster book, and it's a lawyer and law court kind of drama, and, you know, I really, really enjoy it. And this artist, this Malieve, whose first name I will find right now, Alex Malieve, I love his art. It is just gritty enough. There's some passages that I'm not as crazy on. Like, here's some shots of Foggy there. I hope you can see that. I'm not as crazy about that. It kind of reminds me of Ex Machina, where it really looked like taking real-life photos and just kind of illustrating the photos. And I'm not always crazy about that. So, I mean, it doesn't blow me away from beginning to end, but for the most part, I really like the gritty look, and I found it really jarring when it changed to this more kind of comic-y style, which I found I wasn't so crazy about. You know, and I was just bought the second volume, and I see that Malieve is back in that one, so I'm happier about that. I think that'll be great, but absolutely loving it. So once I'm done that, I'm just going to keep going, and kind of wishing I might have picked up the hardcovers instead, but whatever. Maybe in the future I'll pick up the hardcovers and get rid of these ones, but for now, these kind of soft covers are doing it for me. Let's just stay with that note with something that I'm just going to talk super briefly about. Everybody's talked, well, not everybody, but a few people have talked about it, and I know I've commented on people's message board and stuff and comment sections about it. Hawkeye, number 3. And, you know, I can't really say anything that hasn't been said. It's amazing. This issue wasn't my favorite so far of the run, but I love it. It's one of those that I find I'm looking forward to. And as soon as it's in, it's the first one that I read, and the artwork is brilliant. The design for the covers is brilliant. I do get the sense, I think it was said that, you know, it's reading so far like a series of single stories. I'm getting the sense that this is the introduction, and it is building to more of a story that'll probably last like an arc kind of thing, you know, like started getting into that style of storytelling. But for now, I'm enjoying the single issues, getting to know them, and yeah, that's all I'll really say, other than I really thoroughly enjoy it. Surprised how much. And I think that kind of goes overall for Marvel. I mean, I know I'm reading Hawkeye and Daredevil, and you can't really go wrong with that, because a lot of videos that I've seen, everybody seems to say that those are kind of the hits right now at Marvel. So maybe that helps. But yeah, because I have no interest in X-Men and all that kind of stuff, none whatsoever. I've never had interest in those stories, but these ones, loving. James Stokoe, this guy that did Orc-Stain, that I really enjoy, is doing a Godzilla, the Half-Century War. So there's a cover for that. Might have talked about it briefly before, but so this might be treading some of the same territory. Love his art. Wish he would mix up the colors a little bit, because he uses the same color palette for Orc-Stain as well. This one follows a group of military guys who kind of are assigned to a task force that just deals with Godzilla when he attacks. So each issue has a different year and a different part of the country where they are going in to combat him, and how they're dealing with that. And you can see him in this issue, you can see him kind of turning, as far as like he's getting a little more hardened and knows how to deal with things and become kind of an expert. And it's an interesting take, because I mean, you know, Godzilla is definitely in the background. It's really about this military group. It's a fun book. There's nothing mind-blowing as far as ideas go, but I love my giant monster stuff, and it's fantastic just seeing him trotting through the city, wreaking havoc in that Stokoe style that I really like. His detail is almost kind of Darrow-ish, where just in the buildings and the scales on him and some of the other monsters, he's really just spent time, and even like the smoke from the rubble in the background, you can see him really taking time. I don't know how long it takes him to do a page, because this has come out fairly regularly so far. Like I said, it's only issue 3, but yeah, if you just want to have fun, that's a good one to have fun with. And I would recommend Orc-Stain as well too. It's more of a heavy metal style sci-fi. I don't know if he's working on it anymore, because this is probably taking up quite a bit of time, because I don't think there's been an issue of that for months and months. I don't even know how long. And then I've just picked up number 6, which completes the first story arc. I just saw in the previews it is still going, which I wasn't sure. I thought maybe this was going to be the end. Matt Kindt, Mind Management, number 6. It's going to be one of those that I'm going to have to reread at least once, probably twice. But on first read, I really liked it. Kind of dealing with a side of a government or FBI agency sort of thing that deals in people with these special powers, like, you know, powers of influence. And I mean, it's interesting because they do definitely have powers, but it's also talks about, I think the next series is going to be a guy that's in advertising and subliminally manipulating people through his advertising, which of course is, you know, you see every day. So I really like that aspect of it, that it is kind of dealing with these kind of extrasensory powers, but it is still based in something that's still really believable. You know, how you can manipulate people to believe what you want them to believe, and how these people are dealing with it. And there's all sorts of secret stuff going on here. Apparently with the first 6 issues, the back cover, you can decipher some sort of message and go to a website for more information. On every page they keep the borders and there's little notes written all across the place, and there's little things hidden in the panels, which is why I think I need to, now that I've read the first 6, reread them maybe before the next arc starts, just to dig a little deeper and stuff. Really, really good read. I really like his style. Very basic and a little sloppy, and looks like almost watercolors as far as the coloring goes, but it totally works. Very enjoyable. I'm sure there's a trade coming right away now that they've done 6 issues. Dark Horse is that one. And then the number 9, Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips, Fatale. Travis Oddfellow's Thoughts was talking a bit about this, about how it's not as much of a Lovecraftian type of thing as he might have been led to believe, and I don't disagree with that. When they were promoting this book before it first came out, there's definitely a lot of those photos you saw with like the Cthulhu type figure and stuff like that. And yeah, they totally don't, but saying that, I still really like it, and it's another one that is going to be, you know, the same thing I've done with Criminal and Incognito and Sleeper. Just, they're so rereadable. They're so enjoyable. I really like his writing style. And in the back of this one, he's talking about writing some stuff for TV and some pilots that have been picked up, as far as like they've been optioned for him to finish a script, and then they're going to shoot a pilot, hopefully. And as he says, he's very realistic about it, that he knows that a lot of this stuff happens day to day and everything, a lot of things get turned down, but I really hope that something pans out for him as far as TV, because I would love to see a series that he's written. Yeah, so I'm still enjoying it. I'm still going to keep picking it up. I know there was a bit of confusion as to, was it going to be a mini-series? I think he did have 12 originally planned, but now he has more story ideas, so there's going to be some single issues going back in time, and then there's going to be another kind of story arc. So he said, I think it's in this one, he said that he wants to just keep it going. He's got all these ideas, why limit himself to 12 issues, which I think is fantastic, because I'm kind of a Ed Brubaker fan for life now. Anything that he does, I'll pick up. May as well go into the disappointment of it. This haul, let's do these two. Excuse me. So, Swamp Thing Annual #1. You know, I just didn't like it. I'm going to keep picking it up, because I am definitely curious as to where they're going, but just did nothing for me. It did so little for me that I can't even really tell you much, other than, because nothing has really stuck with me, other than it's, I believe this one was in his past life, where he maybe has met Anton Arcane before and Abby, but has kind of blocked it out of his memory because it hasn't played, and yeah, that's exactly what this issue is. And whatever, you know, like, nothing in it did anything for me. The art is pretty great, but story-wise, I just find I'm not really caring, and you know, I haven't really cared as much about Swamp Thing as I have for Animal Man for a few issues. But I really want it to work, and I really want to give it a chance, and if that means following it for another year, if it keeps going, I'm going to do it, because I really, in the back of my mind, I just really hope that they have somewhere that they're heading that's going to kind of make all this worth it, because so far it's kind of not worth it, and even the last Animal Man didn't really do anything for me either. I'm just really concerned about this whole rot world going into the future, and everything's destroyed, and I'm just really, it just scares the hell out of me, because it just really leads me to believe that it's just going to be something shitty to kind of tie it up, like it's all, they're going to go to the past and everything's going to be fine and blah blah blah. I really want them, if they're going to push them forward, I really want them to stick in this world and see it out to the end, and not have some cop-out where somebody's waking up from some freaking dream, or they go to the past and they save the day and it doesn't happen. But it worries the hell out of me, because I really think that that's what's going to come. Anyway, that was the biggest disappointment. And Animal Man and Swamp Thing were, now that, I mean, Hawkeye is now in that place, like I said, and Fatale. But Animal Man and Swamp Thing, when I was starting to read them, when they started, those were the two that were always at the top, because I was loving them both at the beginning. Animal Man, like I said, a little more, but... And now on to Death of the Family. So I know there's been a lot of stuff, and I'm not even going to talk about the covers. You know them. I'm interested in this arc. I don't follow Batman as much anymore. I don't, except for Batman Incorporated, which I do enjoy. And I don't follow Catwoman, and I don't follow Batgirl, or I don't follow whatever. The only one I really do read is Batwoman and Batman Incorporated. And I know that this is going to span over a bunch of issues. I'm curious. I'll probably end up picking them all up. And again, hoping that there's going to be something great tying them all together. This first one, I enjoyed. This Batman Death of the Family. What is this, number 13? I did enjoy it. I didn't feel too lost as far as what was going on and who was who. There was obviously a couple of moments because I don't follow it, but overall I thought it was enjoyable and a really nice setup, and I think it was talked about before, the Joker being super creepy when he's talking about being under Commissioner Gordon's bed and hearing him breathing and blah blah blah. I thought that was really well done, even though, yeah, I just thought that was really well done. Really enjoyed that. But I didn't enjoy Catwoman. I just watched, was it DaCosta DC, I think, was talking about this one, and I couldn't disagree with him more. I didn't get anything out of it. I found I was so lost through the whole thing, and as he said, I don't follow Catwoman either, but for some reason I guess, it just worked for him where it didn't work for me. I thought it was I thought it was a crap issue. I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. There was aspects of it that I thought were okay, but overall, I just found I was more confused. Maybe it'll be something rereading once we get into the story a little bit, go back and kind of reread it again, but it didn't do anything for me. I didn't pick up the Batgirl, I think it was, because it was vehemently told. I think it was Beardo that said, you don't need to read this one, you just can pass it up. So I took his advice and I just didn't buy it. So those are the only two that I have, but I am looking forward to see what they do with the Joker. And then Batman Incorporated number 4. I've been waiting for this forever. Once we got that Zero business nonsense garbage done with, I really liked the first 3 so much. This one I liked a little less. This was maybe my least favorite of the 4. But the thing that draws me to it is Chris Byrne's art. I love his just insane, ridiculous, over-the-top fight scenes and blood splattering everywhere, and just the way he draws his characters, their expressions and their body language, and so great. And this one, just because I've had one issue, it's not like Swamp Thing where I'm really feeling, oh my god, what's going on. This one to me is just like, it's just an off issue. I'm not concerned about it. I'm not concerned at all. I know it's going to pick up again. And again, I guess it's that kind of Darrow-ish style, because there is a bit of similarities, and Quietly as well from All-Star Superman and things. There's some similarities, but I could look at his art all day. It really amazes me. So yeah, just an off issue as far as I'm concerned, but I'm still totally, it's on my list, it's getting pulled no matter what, and I'm still going to follow it, and that's just the way that it is. So much for a short video, 19 minutes already. So this is the last one, and again, it'll just be a short one because I think it's been talked about by quite a few people. Batwoman number 13 with Wonder Woman. Loved it so much. The art boggles my mind how inventive this guy is. Boggles my mind. The page that everybody talks about, the 2-page spread where it's all black and there's just the text and they're getting overwhelmed by these centipedes or whatever you want to call them. Unbelievable. When I flipped to that page, it just completely blew me away. I've got the first trade of Batwoman that I really enjoy. I just finished the first. I got the hardcover of Wonder Woman that I'm really digging as well. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. yeah, I'm gonna start picking these up in single issue just because I think it's really worth it. Because with the trade, I don't know how like that page, those 2 pages are going to unfold with the trades. Because I'm super careful with my trades and I don't like spreading them out and everything. And so because it's like, as somebody calls them, floppies, um, you can kind of get the better sense of it and you can get a nice kind of overall image that you just can't in the trade. So I'm going to keep picking these up singly. And yeah, that is about that. Looking around at the palace. Next time, I know I've done like cube videos and stuff. I'm not going to do one this time. That's 2 videos. Thanks very much for watching, and I've gotten a couple of really good comments from people and had a couple of good messages from people. And I really appreciate it. I'm super appreciative of it. It's good to contribute, and I love that you guys are watching my videos and getting something out of them, even though sometimes I just ramble and don't make much sense, I'm sure. But yeah, I've started subscribing to some new people, so now that I have a bit of time off, I'm hoping to catch up on some videos and kind of delve into their past to see what they have to offer. So subscribe and all that, and yeah, we'll see you.